Hi everyone, I'm Satvik from CSC, currently pursuing BTech in VVIT. Today, we are going to discuss about algorithm. Let me share my screen. What is an algorithm? An algorithm is a set of commands that must be followed for a computer to perform calculation and other problem-solving operations. According to its formal definition, an algorithm is a finite set of instructions carried out in a specific order to perform a particular task. It is not the entire program or code. It is simply logic to a problem represented as a informal description in the form of a flowchart or a pseudocode. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to do a particular task. It is not an entire program. It is just readable and understandable for a common man also. Algorithm takes an input and obeys particular rules to which the program should be executed, and then set of rules to obtain the expected output from the given input. What is a problem? A problem can be defined as a real world problem or a real world instance problem for which you need to develop a program or a set of instruction. An algorithm is a set of instruction to obey that. What is an algorithm? Algorithm is defined as I have already said that an algorithm is defined as a step-by-step process that will be assigned for a problem, designed for a problem. Input. After designing an algorithm, the algorithm is given the necessary and desired inputs. Processing unit. The input will be passed to the processing unit and producing the desired output. The outcome or result of a program is referred to as the output. Characteristics of an algorithm. The algorithm consists of mainly six characteristics: input, output, fitness, language independent, effectiveness, and unambiguity. What is an input? An algorithm requires some input values uh, so that it processes the input, dynamically, so that every input can be characterized with this input characteristic. And an output, we have to get the result from the program. So output is a definite characteristic from the algorithm. At the end of the algorithm, you will have one or more outputs. Ambiguity, unambiguity. The perfect algorithm is defined as unambiguous, which means that its instructions should be clear and straightforward. There should be no confusion between the statements so that it becomes unambiguous and easily readable by common finiteness. An algorithm should be finite. Finiteness in the context means that the algorithm should have limited number of instructions. Instructions should be countable. For example, a looping statement which cannot be ended is not considered as a finite program. Effectiveness. Each instruction in an algorithm affect the overall process. It should be adequate. Language independence. An algorithm must be a language independent, which means its instructions can be implemented in any language and produce the same results. In the sense, we usually do not write the algorithm in any programming language, any particular programming language selected. So if uh, if we write an algorithm, it should be understandable to each and every programmer, and it can be implemented in any other language, irrespective of the language. And I think we have covered everything. Effectiveness. Okay. Effectiveness. Each instruction of an algorithm affects the overall process, and it should be adequate. In the sense, the instructions which are given in the algorithm should be very effective, taking the less time. Even a small instruction may take more time and make the program slow. Finiteness and ambiguity, straightforwardness. Perfect algorithm is defined as unambiguous, which means that its instruction should be clear and straightforward. Output and input, we already know that. And output, we have already discussed about the output processing unit. The input will be passed to the processing unit, producing the desired output. We have already seen in this diagram. The center rhombus represent the processing unit, which processes the input and delivers the output to the screen. I mean, any output device. Input algorithm gives necessary inputs. We have already discussed about that. An algorithm, we already know. A problem can be defined as a real world problem or real world instance. We used to see a lot of problems. This problem indicates the problems which could be solved through a program. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.